JSA issue 13, Jeff Lemire, writing with Gavin Guidry on the art. So this is the start of year one, which sounds really appealing. I like the idea of doing a JSA year one. I will say up front though, that I do not think that this would work for a new reader to JSA. I think there's too many characters that are just being kind of like, here's, Jay Garrick as a professor, here's this character as that. It's not taking the time to actually introduce any of them. It's just kind of assuming you already know who all these people are. So this is not a year one to hand to a new person at all.
Not at all. I feel it's year one in the gimmick of, hey, how did the JSA become the JSA?
Yes.
Longtime fans, because they even get into the whole, it had to have been 10 years ago when they made Alan Scott gay, right? So they get into that here as well. That's introduced. So if you're not aware of that as a new reader with Alan Scott, you're not picking up on some of the nuances in his conversation with the guy and the stuff. And then just even the dynamics through some of them, like Our Man and trying to think who else, because it's been a minute since I read this. I read this earlier. I might have read this last week. But like the stuff with Our Man and Sandman, as I'm going through here, a lot of their back and forth is like kind of established JSA stuff, and on that. So, but yeah, I liked what I read here though.
Yeah, no, I like the art. I like the kind of more laid back approach to it. More straightforward boxes and kind of some of the awkwardness of some of the interactions and whatnot. I will say that I would say the plot feels like it's like got this tons of momentum yet, right? It's like, okay, our man's investigating Starco and try to figure out what's going on. There's dead bodies there already. Sandman's there, and Sandman's like, yeah, I had a dream about being dead here, so I came to investigate. So they end up working together for a little bit, and there's some nice mood there. You also have the Hawks, Shiera specifically being the female, Hawk girl, and then being attacked at their excavation site, the archaeology, right? And I like that. I like that we're getting into a little bit of what their day jobs were before the JSA, because that's fun. But villains show up and shoot, grab them in nets. Do we ever find out who this woman is who's leading this little team? I don't think we do we?
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm sure we do. It's not clicking right now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we'll know who it is when they eventually say it. But no one was springing to mind. And then you also got Johnny Thunder going to Jay Garrick to try and talk to him and saying, hey, I know you're the Flash. I want to talk to you about my magic genie. And Jay's like, this is a foolish prank. I will have nothing to do with this, and shoos him away, kind of thing. So again, it's kind of expecting you to have a vague idea of who most of these characters are. It's not assuming that you're not going to know them. So definitely worth keeping in mind. You've also got Atom Smasher coming in and bashing a gambling
just
ring.
the Atom.
Just Atom, sorry, not Atom Smasher. Yes.
But Atom Smasher is his nephew, and that's his tie to the Justice Society later. I
think I say Atom Smasher because if I say Atom, I'm thinking of the Atom, which is a different character. Right. So my mind just kind of puts Smasher to separate them. Yeah. But this is
and it's very much Atom Smasher's costume is this costume minus the cape.
Yes.
And then the deep V. But yeah, he comes in and be able to realize like the Atom couldn't shrink. He was called the Atom because he was small and packed a punch.
Yes.
Right. Very 40s logic. And in fact, he wasn't shrinking until it became. Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Ray Palmer?
Ray Palmer, thank you. Yes. That's when they got the thing. So Adam showing up here in Gotham's East End and busting up a Nazi meeting.
Yeah, well, that's what it turns out to be. I don't know if he knew that when he came in, but because it seems like a surprise to him when he goes down to their secret area and there's the swastika and was it a committee for a pure America leaflet sitting there. So, no. Like, I'm liking...
Was it set in 1940 as well, right?
Yeah,
Did we mention that?
I'm liking all like the setup of all these different plot threads. And obviously the big ending is Alan Scott finding his his partner potential partner lying dead in his hotel room, because he was going to tell him stuff. He was going to be like, hey, I've got stuff to tell you. Or maybe I shouldn't talk, actually. It's not safe here at the restaurant. So he gets concerned about him and goes back to his hotel room to see if he's okay, and he's lying there dead with a knife in his chest. So I like this, but it definitely feels like there's like 4 plots going on, and I'm sure they're all going to connect. I'm sure, like, you know, this Nazi group at the center of it, the Injustice Society, maybe probably, because I imagine the reason why we're doing this is because it's going to build up to the Injustice Society going after the spear for the first time, or something like that, or maybe establish why the JSA came together in the first place, so that it'll tie into stuff next time. Because we kind of left off on a bit of a cliffhanger before, with the bad guys getting the spear and like everything they're going to do with that. Yeah, the bad guys
winning.
So,
you know,
so I like the pacing of this, and I like what it's doing, but I will say that I also feel like there's no sense of the, I don't know, like maybe there could have been like a stronger plot hook here, right? Like it feels like there's not like a good hook by the end for what the villains are up to, or something. It feels like, yeah, we've got like various endings to the 4 plots. Green Lantern's been the biggest with this murder at the end, but it does kind of feel a little bit like they're missing like a key inciting incident that feels like it's tying everything together. Maybe that should have been at the end of the issue or the start of the issue, I'm not sure, but there does feel like one little missing ingredient to kind of make it feel like it's all coming together in a way where right now it feels like just 4 separate plots that you know. So, and also with the asterisks of this is not really a year 1 in the traditional sense, because it's not, it might be how they form a team together and that's cool, but they're expecting the reader to have a vague idea of who all the characters are already, because otherwise, right, you know, I think you'd be lost. You'd be like, why? Because
looking on here, you don't really get introductions, right?
Not to any of them, really. Like the only one who even states who they are is the Flash, because Johnny Thunder says, hey, you're the Flash, you're like a superhero. Like he's the one, that's like the biggest introduction you get of any character, I think.
And just like the hint with Hot Girl, right, is whoever is holding him up is like, or do you really think you'll just be reborn again and again, as she has a gun to her and she's in the net, you know? So again, if you're a new reader, this is not friendly at all.
No.
But as a longtime Justice Society reader, I'd like to see where it goes. Because did you ever read The Golden Age, which was the JSA book that took place? It was James Robinson. Can't remember who did the art.
No.
But it takes place during World War II. And it goes through, you know, what they were doing at the time. It feels like it's much in tone with that. You know, like all these pieces. That one's narrated by Jesse Quick, the original Jesse Quick. Liberty Bell's husband and Jesse's dad. That one's narrated by him as he looks back on, you know, the founding of it and whatnot and what they did during the war. So here it feels like we're dealing the same kind of thing where we're breaking it up into groups that Lemire was doing instead of doing it as a whole. So it definitely reminded me of the Golden Age a bit.
And I guess in a way it kind of suffers from what Lemire's run suffered from the start, is this insistence of doing every character immediately and sort of like having to jumping around all of them. Like I think maybe just focusing on 2 like plots here to start with, and then bring in the others as we get like established would have been a better idea. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it feels as bad as the start of his run though. I think that first couple of issues at the start of his JSA were really bad in that sense, like an extreme example of it. Here it's a bit better, and it definitely feels like it's got a better flow to it. However, it does still share some of those problems, and especially I think if you're a new reader, I don't think this will make it easy to follow for you at all. But
now, you've read some of his Black Hammer, right?
Yes, I've read like the first series, which was like 12 issues or so, and I read, I think, the first couple of minis. I might have started the second main series, I can't remember, but yeah, I've read a chunk of it. Yeah,
because we know he can introduce new characters and stuff. So I'm curious to why, you know, he wouldn't do that here, you know, to treat it like this is the entry point, you know?
Yeah, it's strange. Because that's a good point. Like Black Hammer starts with like this entire history of all these characters who've been around, and it's meant to be the start of a story, so it feels, you know, and it should. I mean, it's the start of a whole new book, so it should be new reader friendly. It's literally an issue 1, but it does it and establishes this whole entire group of characters, the fact that they all have a history, and then you get to know them better as it goes on. Like he knows how to do this. Like he's done it, right? I mean, Black Hammer in many ways was like an alternate universe JSA in a lot of ways.
Which is why I bring it up, right? Because this has more in common with Black Hammer being an introduction than him taking over, you know, the Justice Society at issue 1, right? Like, yeah, it was in issue 1, but this is an established JSA. So it makes me wonder, you know, why he's going about it the way he is when we know, you know, artistically, he knows how to introduce things. Yeah. And he's done it well because Black Hammer was a hit. Everybody I know, because I still haven't read it, but
it's very good.
That has,
yeah. From what I've read,
has
it's
nothing
fantastic.
but good things to say about it. And it's almost his love letter to a certain era of comics. So, and like here, that's what they feel year 1 should be, you know, especially when JSA is involved. So, but yeah, that said, I still mostly enjoyed it. Like, there's not a whole lot outside of the structure and the, you know, introducing all the characters so fast. Yeah, I mean, don't have much of an issue.
I think there's a very good chance because at the very least there's a lot less characters compared to the regular stuff, because a lot of the younger characters aren't here. Obviously, it's all just the OG versions, and that I think will make it a little bit tighter than what we've had so far. But it's still not like, you know, when you tell me Lemire's going to do JSA, it's still not living up to that. At least not yet. No. Maybe this arc will go to better places, but it's still lacking. Like, you know, I would say everything before year 1 in this run has been a C tier book. It's not even been a B tier book. It's been a C tier of just like stuff happening. It gets to a point. There's a nice moment here or there, but it's kind of floundering. To the point where I was debating dropping it, but year 1 sounded like an interesting proposition, and this is better, I think, but it's still not hitting as much as it should. So. Yeah, weird to go. I will say I do think the art feels a lot more consistent here than it has been in the previous stuff. So that's worth something.
Yeah, I would agree. And it feels of that Gavin Guidry's really good at those classic looking heroes. Like, I would really want a book, and this is just me being an Indiana Jones nerd, of Carter and Shira traveling across looking for artifacts. I don't even need the Hawks to show up. You know, but like the whole thing with them being down in the jungle and the people attack, like I was getting a lot of Indiana Jones and Mummies vibe, and Guidry's art is perfect for that.
Maybe they'll run into Barbara Ann or something and
you know,
do some excavating.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
All right, what are you giving JSA 13?
I'm gonna give this a 7.
I'm gonna go 6.5. I don't think I'm ready to call it like straight up good at the 7. Like, I think I still have to be a little conservative with my score, because I feel like it's closer. It feels closer, but it's not quite hitting there yet.